be sharing my research with you. I'm a politician, we don't have any research. We just speak without any research. But can I show you that some of the things that I will say have some facts in relation to the divisions that do exist within the Muslim community that were being discussed earlier on. Let me first of all say thank you very much to the Islamic Center and the organizers of this 7th conference. It is very important as far as Muslims are concerned in this country and around the world that we meet and we discuss. Many of you who are scholars know the Quran much better than me, and whilst the discussions were in Arabic, I did not understand the Arabic discussions, but the Quran very clearly says وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. So if I can begin by saying thank you to the very honorable Dr. Moezi for organizing and inviting me to this conference. I believe that starting from the community here in the United Kingdom, right up to the kingdoms of Saudi Arabia and the Islamic Republic of Iran, we have so much to learn in terms of bringing the communities together. And I wish that today, when we have the Imam of Medina in the Regent Park Mosque and we have this conference here, that if we could have brought both of these conferences together and had one conference, then it would have been a fantastic news for the Muslim community in the United Kingdom. So, whilst I did not understand most of what was said earlier on, my brother just sitting behind me did mention my name, so that prompted my attention, and I wanted to ask him in relation to the question that he raised. And whilst I think that I personally believe, I remember that after 7/7, when Prime Minister Tony Blair asked me to chair one of the very important meetings for British Muslims, that was for the Imams and Mosques National Advisory Committee. I remember having a dialogue with all the Muslim communities in the United Kingdom. I am delighted that we have Muslim scholars here from the Ahl Sunnat al Jamaat, the Jamiat Al Hadith, the Deobandis, the Arabs, the Shia community from South Asia as well as Iran and Arab countries. It is good to see so many Muslims getting together. At that time, we had a similar type of this wish that we could unite the Muslim communities on one platform here in this country and also resolve some of our problems. Whenever some of the challenges come to us, whether it is to do with the crime that exists within Muslim community or the underachievement of our children in schools, the drugs and the drug-related offenses, theft, robbery, armed robbery, prostitution, and sadly, when you look at the achievement levels of grade A to C in 5 GCSE subjects in this country, as well as when you look at the crime rate within the Muslim community and the prison population, then you will see we are disproportionately represented in prisons 4 times more share. In the prisons, Muslims are represented because of our record, unfortunately, on drugs and then the next majority of Muslims speak Urdu. And so therefore, whether they're Indian or Pakistani or Kashmiri, they speak Urdu. And if I can say that the TV channels, the satellite TV channels that have brought, rather than bringing our communities together, have brought a new kind of conflict between different sects and different communities here in the United Kingdom. And you know that whatever is a source for income, a source for finances, and these TV channels become a source for funding, because there are charities that rely on these TV channels to raise funds. 50 million pounds or so annually is raised by British Muslims in their zakat and in their sadaqah. All that money is then brought through these TV channels who charge money. So to answer my brother's question earlier on in relation to bringing lawyers or experts how to prosecute these people who bring dispute between ourselves or even incite hatred between Muslims, well then I can tell you that Ofcom already has the power to do that. There are a number of TV channels I know that have been fined up to £85,000 in recent weeks or months because of what they've said on their TV channels. So I would urge you that if you notice anything which is said against the Shia community or the Sunni community or people with faith or without faith, as soon as that you see on the TV, then please make note of that and report it to the Ofcom, and Ofcom will take necessary action against those TV channels. Whether the TV channel is responsible or not, their speaker is outside speaker or their internal speaker, they have no right to air these views. So anything that creates hatred or anything that creates violence or threatens violence, then they have to be reported. But I think we need to do more, because there are certain things that bring us together and there are others that divide us, and we have to know how we deal with those. We know that every time we mention political issues like Palestine, it brought us together, all of us. You talk about Kashmir, it brings us together. Talked about Balkans, whether it is Kosovo or Bosnia or Chechnya, because all Muslims, we feel for those oppressed people, it brought us together. But today, when we talk about Syria and we will talk about Bahrain, it divides us. And we have to find ways of how we deal with that. Frankly, for me, I think that where you have politicians meeting at OIC or Arab League, we also need a parliament of Muslim scholars meeting in different cities, in different countries, to bring people together and asking for politicians and pressurizing politicians to resolve matters through dialogue rather than through arms and military means. Because for me, and for everyone else, because one of the duties that we did, for instance, if I give you an example, that as British Muslims, we saw that in Darfur, there were many people who had tried, many organizations, many international organizations, that tried to bring the Darfurian community together for peace, and they were not successful. I can tell you that EU, okay, 2 minutes, EU, the UN, the African Union, they all tried, but they failed. But when we British Muslims had a dialogue, we brought people together, we went to the masjids, we went to the local community, we talked to them, and I said that we didn't have any of our own interests, but only because the Quran actually demands, when you have brothers that are fighting, then please make a peace between them. So I think as a duty, we need to bring people together and also make peace between them and